and the princess grew into a beautiful blossom like her mother. When Kamiko reached the age of 10 and 6, the king presented her with the rose pearl necklace that her mother had always worn. It was her mother's last wish that when Kamiko was old enough that it be given to her. The princess was delighted with the precious gift, and the king overwhelmed with feelings past and present. The princess sensed her father's anguish and wanted to comfort him, but did not know how. She knew how her father loved to tell the story of how he and mother met, so Kamiko asked him,
"Father, please tell me again the story of how you and mother met."
You don't want to hear that tale again?
Please, Father.
As you wish.
I traveled from seacoast to seacoast, all over this mountainous land, for someone to whom to surrender my soul and my heart and my hand. I was young, I was rash, I was foolish, I was still but a boy, not a man, but I knew from the moment I saw her, as she stood with her straw in her hand. She was as lovely as a rose, she was poetry and prose. She was morning, she was night, she was earth and air and light. And I loved her, and I held her, and I promised I would never let her go. And I loved her much deeper, when unto us a child was bestowed. Our world was a delight. It was magical and bright. It was perfect, it was rare. There was music in the air. I lost her, I miss her, and never will I be the same again. But she left me, daughter, who I love and cherish to my end. So what am I to do? I've nothing but you. You're my morning and my night, my earth, my air and light. And I love you, Chiquita, my daughter, my memories.
That same evening, a strange heavy fog settled upon the city, and the mist floated through the palace and into the royal chambers. The chill in the air awoke Kamiko, and she lifted herself up and looked around. All she could see were the dimly glowing flames of the bedchamber lamps. At that moment, an icy breeze rushed through the open balcony doors, and the fog that had blanketed her room swirled into a glowing apparition. There, in front of the balcony, the dense and glowing mist hung suspended in the air. Brilliant light sparkled inside as it swirled in place. She heard the voice of an old woman whisper,
There are things you must see. There are things you must see. Come with me, come with me.
What is before me? What is in my view? A glowing apparition. What am I to do? What goes around me? Spinning full of light. Nonsense with me. Takes me on a flight. And I'm flying across the mountains. Soaring over trees. No stay.
light glowed from inside the humble dwelling, and she felt strangely drawn to it. The mist, which still lightly surrounded her, spoke.
Look and see, look and see, look and see, and you will see.
The princess slowly looked inside, and there a woman and her 3 children sat upon the floor. In clothes both tattered and soiled, the children whimpered quietly. Their mother soothed and caressed them, trying to comfort them, but still their cries of hunger echoed in the tiny dwelling.
Sleep, my children, so you do not feel the hunger so strongly. Why do these children go hungry?
The mist did not reply. Again, the clouds swirled about the princess and carried her through the sky.
And I'm flying across the mountains, over trees, roasting through the valleys that never have I visited. And now I have returned to the chamber where I sleep, and such a sadness fills me, and I start to weep. Filled with sadness, crying, with despair, crying, for the helpless, one of the others who need care. I'm crying, yes, crying. I'm crying, but what should I?
Thank you. We have arrived at the place where I was to meet my friend. If you wish to depart, I will understand. But if you wish to remain, I will gladly finish my tale.
Please finish your tale.
The following day, when the young princess sat in the garden, she turned to her father and said,
Father, I had the most curious dream last night. I dreamt that I had been carried through the air, out of our palace and over the ocean, and I could see a great city which surrounded. As we flew, I saw forests, deserts, and mountains. And then I arrived in a small village.
That is curious.
Her father began to become alarmed, though he hid it well. How could she know of these things, he thought. How could this be?
And then I looked in a window of a small one dwelling. I can see a mother and her children had no food to eat. Is this true, Father? Are there people beyond our palace walls who have no food to eat?
For a moment, the king could summon no words. But as his thoughts began to settle, he decided that he would not let some foolish dream destroy the perfect world that he had created for his daughter.
No, my dear, such things do not exist. It was just a dream. Perhaps you read of it in a story. It is just an invention. Do not worry yourself.
The next day, the king had all the scrolls removed from the palace. He assigned his scholars the task of carefully reading each one and destroying any that might contain things unpleasant and unsettling. The young princess returned to her room later that day and found that her scrolls were missing. She went to her father and asked,
What has become of my scrolls, Father?